Hello and welcome to the Legislative Report. I'm State Representative Kate Harper from the 61st District in Montgomery County, and we're in district today at the Montgomery County Community College at the end of the Senior Games and the Senior Expo. All week, senior athletes have been competing and will be getting medals later on today. And we also have an expo where groups interested in offering services to seniors are here and giving out information. Take a look with me as we visit with some of the exhibitors and see what they saw. And next year, sign up for the Senior Games yourself. Now I'm here with one of our competitors, Joe Havlick from East Norton. Joe, what events did you participate in this week?
I think it was about 8 or 9. I started out with golf on Monday morning and played bocce in the afternoon. And Tuesday I played par 3 golf and basketball in the evening.
Wow.
Wednesday I did four things, bowling being one of them, and running in the evening at 6 o'clock. And yesterday I did short darts and a couple other things. I've had so many things I can't remember them all.
Okay, so how old are you, Joe?
I'll be 91 in September.
Wow. You're quite the athlete. What do you think? Do you get any medals?
I do have a few. I think there's about 200 and some I have.
Wow. How long have you been doing senior games here?
18 years.
And this year, did you get any medals?
I have about 8 of them so far, so I think I'll get about maybe 10 or 12, yeah.
Okay, good for you. So what do you like best about senior games? Is there a particular sport you like the best?
No, I like all sports, pretty much all sports. I like golf the best. I'm at the age now where I can play golf competitively a little bit, and I go to the national games last year, and so that's my best sport that I like the most, But I like basketball. I played basketball all my life. But
okay, so I heard something about shooting your age. Can you shoot your age?
Yeah, I can. I think I shot my age on Monday.
Wow. Okay, so I know a golfer at home who can't even break 100. So you're doing very well.
Okay, thank you. Yeah.
Would you do this again next year?
Well, every year I say I'm not going to go, but it comes around January, February, and I'm thinking, well, maybe I'll try it again this year. So I keep doing it.
And this year you had beautiful weather too, I think.
Oh, this is the nicest weather we've had in a long time. And the running on Wednesday night was perfect. It was like 45 or so, maybe a little longer, but a little higher. But it was perfect, sunny and nice. No humidity. No. Last year I think it rained, but we run whether it rains or not.
All right, so you heard it here first, folks. Joe is 91. He's got hundreds of medals, and he's coming back next year. I hope you're here too. I'm here with Sis Corbo, who's come just a short way because she lives in Bluebell, and this is her first senior games. Well, Sis, what do you think?
I think it was awesome, and I'm sorry I waited so long to do it.
All right.
And I did get a few medals, too, but maybe because I'm old.
No, I think we're all old here. So, Sis, what sports did you medal in?
Pickleball, Bocce and shuffleboard.
And you got medals in all three of them?
Yes.
All right, so I know this is your first time, but how do you stay in shape for the games throughout the year?
Just keep active, really. I really should be more active, and eventually I will get back to that now that we're having some beautiful weather.
Right, and this is sort of inspiring, isn't it?
It sure is, yes. And there's such lovely people I've been dealing with here. Wonderful. And volunteers are fabulous.
Yeah, we just talked to some of the volunteers. Do you know it takes 100 volunteers to make this event run?
Honestly, it's amazing how they all volunteer to do that for us seniors.
Seniors. Okay, so are you coming back next year?
I sure am.
All right. You heard it here first. First timer coming back.
I'm with Transnet, and we are here for all of our senior citizens. We have a shared ride program, which takes them to and from medical appointments, grocery stores, hairdressers, wherever they want to go within Montgomery County. So we're really able to transport them so they have their independence still, and they're not relying on family members or anyone else to take them. It's on a per mileage basis, so 0 to 3 miles, it's about $3.45, and then it just increases a little bit per mile. The maximum that anyone would pay per trip would be $7.50. There's absolutely no income requirement. It's strictly an age-based service that we have. You have to be 65 and older, and it's funded by the Pennsylvania Lottery. So the Pennsylvania Lottery pays 85% of it, and then our consumer only pays 15%. Call our call center at 215-542-7433, or they could go on our website, which has all of our services, all our information, which is www.suburbantransit.org.
I'm here with Katie Kohler, who's the volunteer coordinator of the Senior Games. It takes an awful lot of people to keep the Senior Games running. So Katie, how many volunteers do we have here?
Throughout the entire week, we have about 100, a little over 100 from all different facets of townships and organizations come to help at all of the events.
Now, I know this takes about a year to plan, and you have a day job at Upper Moreland. What's your job at Upper Moreland Township?
At Upper Moreland, I'm the Recreation Program Coordinator for the Parks and Recreation Department.
Okay, and in that capacity, you serve on the committee that plans the games. How many seniors participate in the games this year?
This year, we had our largest turnout yet. We have about 550 senior citizens from Montgomery County mostly. We do allow outside residents to participate, but over 550 this year, so it was huge.
All right. Now, how do you pick what sports there are? And I guess you can't do them all at the community college. I mean, you can't do golf here, right?
We do not do all of the events are held throughout Montgomery County. So basically we take feedback from the participants year to year and see if there's new events we want to offer. Typically we offer them as a trial run and see how they do, and then we would incorporate them the next year into the actual games where they can win medals. We offer events throughout the entire Montgomery County. So golf is actually held at Limerick. We have bowling at Limerick and Norristown. We have some events down in Abington and Upper Moreland, all throughout Montgomery County. So,
okay, it seems to me bocce's a popular sport. Is that your feeling as well?
absolutely. Our bocce fills every year. So this year we decided as a committee to offer a second location, which also filled. So we had one at Lower Providence as well as one at Plymouth, and they each had 60 athletes per site. So it's terrific.
And bocce's a sport you can play pretty well into your life, I should think. So how old is our oldest competitor this week?
Our oldest competitor, I don't know the exact age, but I believe we have a 91-year-old participating in multiple sports. And we do like to emphasize and stress lifetime sports, so we do offer for our athletes things like bocce and swimming and walking that they can participate or have participated in throughout their entire life.
And as part of the volunteer planning committee, I know we use a lot of people from the parks and recs departments from the townships around the county. Is that right?
Absolutely. We have about 16 municipalities represented throughout the week.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Katie, and thanks for your good work for the volunteers.
Our message today is to talk to people about suicide prevention and to promote the idea of hope. If people get connected, people that are in crisis, seniors and veterans, are able to get connected to treatment, they can get through a crisis period. And that's what our goal is to help teach about ways to get through crisis periods and what resources are available to get connected to. So we know that veterans are at a higher risk for suicide than the general population, and part of what our message is and what our hope is to get veterans connected to treatment. Not all veterans are aware of the services that the VA has to offer. There's a lot of mental health and substance abuse programs that are available that veterans are eligible for. So if any veteran that's struggling with depression or suicidal thoughts, if we can get that person connected to treatment, we can really do a lot in helping them get through their crisis and get connected to a great support system. There's a lot of different risk factors for suicide. Someone who's depressed doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to become suicidal, but depression is a risk factor for somebody who might develop suicidal thoughts, as well as substance abuse, PTSD, and other life stressors and psychosocial circumstances. Help is available, and that there's a lot of help out there that they might not be aware of. We have the Veterans Crisis Line that for veterans who are just interested in wanting to know what's out there, or when a veteran's in crisis, if they can call the Veterans Crisis Line as preventative measure just to get connected to resources, or during that crisis period. Really the most important message is that there's help and hope that comes with the help that's out there.
For the Montgomery County Suicide Prevention Task Force, we really like to share resources amongst any age, just to know that there is help. They're not alone. Everyone needs someone, right? So just really getting that information out to them to let them know they're not alone. There are loss survivors support groups. There's all different types of just resources and information just to let them know they're not alone, and there's support out there that they can really talk to somebody, and just it's really hard, obviously, going through that. So just getting the resources to them so that they can talk with someone about it, grieve, go through that process, and really just move forward. So for all the resources that maybe they would reach out or call to, there is training for all the staff. We do use the National Suicide Prevention Task Force. We always give out Veterans Press 1. We also have Montgomery County Mobile Crisis, which they're all trained staff. They're really a fantastic resource, and it's not just to be used during crisis, it's before. So maybe if you're feeling like you might be feeling uncomfortable or feeling like you might be going towards crisis, it's preventative. So to call and get support prior, to get stuff in place so that, if it does get to that point, you have support all around you. And they're a fantastic resource that is in Montgomery County, that we also do give that information out to anyone of the age that, may need the support. If it's telling one person, whether it's a family member, a friend, but just being open and having that conversation and letting them know, we all may have been through this potentially, and I'm here to support you and I want you to get help. So I think it's really about raising awareness to talk about it. Like, we want that to happen and to let people know that they're not in this alone, and it is something that does happen. So, we're kind of just going to come together and support one another and get the support needed. So really about that engagement and raising awareness on we need to talk about it. We have the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline, and it's 1-800-273-TALK, and that's 8255. We also have, Montgomery County Mobile Crisis, and that's 1-855-634-HOPE. So the Montgomery County Community Crisis Line, they're specifically Montgomery County, and then the first line I gave you, the Suicide Prevention Lifeline, that's national, and Veterans Press 1.
Benjamin Franklin was one of the founding fathers of the United States. As a polymath, meaning a person of wide-ranging knowledge or learning, he was a leading author, printer, political theorist, politician, postmaster, scientist, civic activist, inventor, statesman, volunteer firefighter, and diplomat. Born January 6, 1706 in Boston, Massachusetts, Benjamin was one of 17 children born to Josiah Franklin and 8th of 10 born by Josiah's second wife, Abiah Folger. In 1718, at the age of 12, Benjamin served as an apprentice to his brother James, who had founded a weekly newspaper, the New England Courant. By 1724, he had moved to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and by 1729, he bought the Pennsylvania Gazette. Fervent on giving back to his Philadelphia community, he was instrumental in establishing a library, a public hospital, an insurance company, as well as serving as a volunteer firefighter with the Union Fire Company, now known as Benjamin Franklin's Bucket Brigade. An enthusiastic inventor, Mr. Franklin's inventions included bifocals, the Franklin stove, and the glass harmonica, an instrument used by Mozart and Beethoven. And of course, we dare not forget the famous story of Benjamin's kite and electricity. As his life continued, Benjamin took a profound interest in politics. In 1764, he became the Pennsylvania Speaker of the House and later was elected to the Second Continental College. It was in this capacity he assisted in composing the Declaration of Independence, which he signed in 1776. As the American ambassador to France, Benjamin signed the Treaty of Paris, which ended the American Revolution in 1783. He then served as a delegate to the Constitutional Convention, joining other historical patriots. Benjamin signed the U.S. Constitution. At the age of 84, Benjamin Franklin died from pleuritic attack on April 17, 1790 in Philadelphia. Approximately 20,000 people attended his funeral. Benjamin Franklin's contribution to his state, his country, and to humanity will live on forever. Which quote is credited to Benjamin Franklin? A. Give me liberty or give me death. B. Taxation without representation is tyranny. Or C. By failing to prepare, you are preparing to fail. Benjamin Franklin published the pamphlet Poor Richard's Almanac from 1733 to 1758. With print runs of 10,000 per year, the pamphlet circulated throughout the American colonies with such literary paradigms like by failing to prepare, you are preparing to fail, and well done is better than well said, to name just a few.
Once again, at the Senior Expo, the Montgomery Bar Association is participating and has brought with them many copies of the very popular Elder Law Handbook. I'm here with Susan Piette, a lawyer with the Montgomery Bar Elder Law community. Susan, thanks for being here.
You betcha. Thanks for having me.
Okay, so I wanted to ask you, why is the Elder Law Handbook such a popular giveaway at this event?
Yeah, no, it's a wonderful resource. It takes all the things that elders should know and puts it into a nice, concise book, and they can then have access to things on their powers of attorney, medical power of attorney, financial power of attorney, information on will, veterans benefits. It's really a concise summary of many, many topics that are very much of interest to elders.
Okay, now I have read the book, so I know that it's written in plain English. This is not for lawyers, right? This is for seniors.
That's correct. It's really written in not legalese, but just our regular everyday talk. Every other year, attorneys, I'm on the committee that helps revise it and edit it. We go through and make sure that any new revisions that are within the law are incorporated into it and make sure that it is very understandable by the average person.
All right, so a lot of elders or seniors have issues with wills and powers of attorney and things like that. Would this book be a good place for them to start?
Absolutely. It's really a summary of the information that they should know, and then if they have further questions and whatnot, there is phone numbers and whatnot that they can contact the Bar Association if they need further information.
Right. Now, I know the book is free, but where can people get it?
Sure. They can get it here at the Senior Games every year, but also at the Montgomery Bar Association, which is down in Norristown, just behind the courthouse.
Okay, and you can also get it at my office and at some other state rep offices, because I try to keep this book in stock, but it is so popular that it often sells out even though it's free. So thanks. Anything else you want to add, Susan?
No, it's been a wonderful day here. Thanks for chatting with me.
We're from the Women's Center of Montgomery County, which is a nonprofit domestic violence organization, and my name is Cynthia Crawford. I'm the medical advocate with the Lansdale Hospital. It's not for women, it's for any individual who is struggling with a domestic violence issue. It could be at home, it could be dating violence, anything within the community that has to do with domestic violence. And what we do here is we offer resource information, counseling. We have a 24-hour hotline number. Number is 1-800-773-2424. You can call that 24 hours, 7 days a week. We're available. We set appointments for women and individuals to come in, even with children, to assist them with the services that needed for domestic violence. Elder abuse is basically just, it could be financial abuse, it could be emotional abuse, physical abuse, just like any other person. But with the elderly, because of the fact them being maybe in the home because of illness or some type of problem, or they may be frail, they get taken advantage of most times. Sometimes it's by family members, which is unfortunate. It can occur in nursing homes as well. We also do training to go out in the community and teach centers such as senior centers, facilities about elder abuse and what they can watch out for. Some of the signs of elder abuse could be burns or marks on their arms or faces or body parts that are unusual. Or a person is limping. When you saw them the first time, they were physically fine, but now they're walking with a limp. Or they may be afraid of the caretaker, for instance. They may be afraid to talk around the caretaker and open up and say, you know, that I'm being abused. They may seem frightened. You'll see emotional changes in that individual as well as physical. So these are the signs that we watch out for and we try to teach individuals about. It can be financial as well, and a lot of people, when they think of domestic violence, they think of the physical. They don't look at the other areas, emotional, financial abuse. Financial abuse could be an individual who is taking control of the person's finances without them knowing it, or taking advantage of them because maybe they have dementia and they don't know what they're doing, and they're taking their monies, their funds, what they need to live off of. And this is what we're here for. We're here to make sure that any person that is suffering from domestic violence is able to be safe within their home and be able to live the life that they want to live. So if they need advice on how to keep their family members safe, they can always call us at the hotline number. Once again, that number is 1-800-773-2424. What I can tell them straight up here today is that you need to stay on top of the situation. When you have a loved one in a facility, you need to be there. You need to get to know the facility manager there, the nurses there, the social workers, everyone that's involved with the care of your loved one. If you do that, you take your part and make sure that they're safe, then the outcome will be better for that individual in the nursing home facility.
Well, we're at the Apprise RSVP table, Retired Senior Volunteer Program, and these guys are so important to the county in general and to seniors. So I'm going to ask Bill, what does RSVP do for seniors in Montgomery County?
Well, RSVP is a broad spectrum of different programs that you can volunteer for, covering mentoring and teaching. But in my particular case, I deal with Medicare. I do Medicare counseling for whomever requires it, and we do it across the county. It's a free program, so if you have issues or questions regarding Medicare, you're able to come to us, and we will provide you insight into what programs are available, what policies are there, how to deal with Medicare, whether you're just turning 65 or if you are already in Medicare and need to reevaluate programs. We can help you across the board with those kind of issues.
You know, seniors are often advised that they should know what drugs they take on a regular basis and pick a medical plan through Medicare or Medicare B or something that applies to that. And how do they figure this stuff out?
Oh, it's a very good question. And that's part of the counseling that we provide. Basically, there are lots of different plans available at different premium levels, but what's important is to provide us with the medications that you take, because in some cases, a plan with a higher premium actually has a lower cost because of how the insurer has negotiated prices for the drugs that you're dealing with, or set up programs with specific pharmacies for the drugs you're taking. So we do that kind of counseling, and it's important to reevaluate your prescription plan every year, largely because they change, and they'll change again next year. You have the opportunity through open enrollment from October 15th through December 7th to change your plan every year, and it's a wise move to go and at least have it evaluated, which we can help you with.
Okay, so many people put off things they don't like to do or that seem like they're too much trouble, but it's really worth it to look at your plan every year, isn't it?
Oh, it is indeed, and it doesn't really take that long. If the only thing you were looking at was prescriptions, typically you can do that in 30 minutes or less, and you come up with alternative plans. If you're just turning 65, we generally will take an hour to an hour and a half to go through all the different options with you, so you have some insight into what's available and what might be best for your particular situation.
So a senior can get unbiased information, and how much does this cost?
It's a free service. There's no charge. We're all trained and go through certification, so that it's not something that's arbitrary. It's something that's very refined. But yeah, it's a free service, and it is as in-depth as you require.
Okay. Now, I know a Retired Senior Volunteer Program, RSVP, does a lot of good programs. Is this just to keep you retired senior volunteers from getting into trouble?
Oh, absolutely. That's a primary goal. But I think that the people who volunteer for this particular program also are very interested in helping people. It's one of my goals, I know, to provide navigation through Medicare so that people make better decisions and end up with a better program for their health. I think that almost everybody, regardless of what volunteer path you're taking, really is interested in trying to assist people in having a better life.
And that's what it's all about. And I think that's what RSVP does, and particularly the prize program, and it's all free. Thanks for talking to me, Bill. I appreciate it.
Okay.
Well, that's all the time we have for today's legislative report. I'm State Representative Kate Harper of the 61st District in Montgomery County. How to get in contact with me will appear on your screen in just a moment. We've had a busy day here at the Senior Games and Senior Expo at the Montgomery County Community College. I hope you'll join us next year for the Senior Games, and I hope you'll join me next time for Legislative Report.